think y'all understand how inexpensive it is to live abroad. So I'm gonna break down my typical cost of living just to give you some perspective. For context, I lived in Panama, Lima, Peru, and Colombia, and all of them had similarities in terms of pricing. Let's start with housing first. If you go to Airbnb route, you're looking to spend maybe $1,200 to $1,500 a month, and that is actually expensive versus you getting a visa and like renting an apartment in any of these cities. Like if you rent an apartment in any of these cities, you might pay at the very most, like $1,500-$1,600. And even that is a bit much. It is definitely going to be more cost effective if you have a more long-term agreement with a landlord or something like that. Next, let's talk about food. So not only is the food fresh, but it's also very inexpensive. I would say for one person, it probably may cost you between $200, $250. You're well fed for under $300 a month for food alone, okay? Everything I'm talking about is in USD. You're definitely not going to spend over $300 on groceries. Mind you, these numbers are like the max that you would spend. And I know how Americans are. We overspend. So I'm factoring that into these numbers. You could definitely even spend less. If you're going out for activities, nightlife, having drinks, cocktails, whatever, you're probably gonna pay between $5 to $8 for a drink on average. Restaurant, same thing. You might spend like $5, $10, maybe $15. Like that's like the top. $20 if you really eating a feast. Just from my experiences, I would say that for a general cost of living for 1 to 2 people could be about $5,000 a month. I'm giving you the probably most that you may spend as one person, or maybe you or with somebody. Like that's probably about what you gonna spend. That's like factoring in emergency situations. That's like, your rent paid for, groceries, utilities if you decide to stay long term, shopping, going out to eat. $5,000 in Central and South America, you're good to go. You don't have much to really pay for real. So for everybody's like, how much and what do I need to save and maybe that will help you put things into context. Now I'm only talking about Central South America, and I've only lived in 3 places that I can personally speak on. Okay, if you live somewhere else and you want to put in the comments, feel free. Now I do know in other places it's more expensive, and in some places it might be less. That's just from my experience. So for those of you who think you got to save $1 million to do that, you really don't. That's my 2 cents. I would love to know your experience in the comments if you've ever lived abroad or traveled long term. Let us know.